Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're going to be removing the spare tire and placing it on the vehicle. And so this is pretty common, about the same process on most trucks. We're going to show it today on a Toyota Tundra. For the most part, we just have to assemble a kit that goes into the back and lowers the spare tire down where we can then get it off. So with this, there's a lot of safety in mind. So we're going to be referring to this owner operator manual. Please make sure you read it entirely in case I miss something or interpret something differently. And so we're going to start off on flat level ground. You cannot drive on a flat tire or bad wheel, or it could destroy both of those. But it does have to be on flat ground so the vehicle does not roll. We're going to put on the parking brake. We're going to make sure that the vehicle is in park, and we mainly just do not want this to roll. So we're going to go ahead and go to the passenger side. We're going to open this up, and we're going to open up the rear seat by pulling this lever here and lifting the rear seat. Once it's lifted up, we're going to be able to find our jack and our tool bag. And so under the carpet here is where the jack is found. So all you have to do is pull this back, and the jack is slightly open to where it's holding in place, and it has this rubber little bungee. So we're going to unloop that, and then we have to turn this counterclockwise in order to make the jack slightly smaller so it's not held in place anymore, and then we're going to be able to get this out. So once it's loose, we can just walk this out and set it aside. So that's our bottle jack. Back in here a little bit farther is the tool bag. It is also held down with a little bungee. So basically just go in there and unloop it just like we did with the jack. And so once it's out of the way, just pull this bag out throughout the bottom of the seat. So you really can't fold the seat down that I could find, but there's plenty of room just to pull this through. So this is the other bag that we're going to need. So once we lay this out, these are the contents. It's basically just a bunch of poles that we're going to put together. And so we're going to put this one aside for now. We don't need it. The first thing we need is this middle one, and it has the ball on both sides. We're going to take it and we're going to put this one that has the hook on one end. And so we're just putting these two ends together, and the ball locks them together. You can push on the ball to separate it if you need to when it's time to take it off. And then we're going to go ahead and put this part with the tire iron through the end like this. And so it's going to also click past that ball, and that's going to help lock it in place so that it doesn't fall apart on us. So this is the first piece that we need, just like this. What we're going to do is come around to the back of the vehicle, and I don't have the license plate on. You don't. It's really not going to get in the way, but you can see that the tire's behind the license plate. But right above it is this hole here. And so if you look in, there's a little bevel. And so this is what it's going to look like. That little hook will go into that, and then we'll be able to turn it back and forth. So we're going to go ahead and assemble our poles together here and just go right through that little cutout that's right below the tailgate. So once we thread that in there, you'll feel it lock into place, and we just turn it counterclockwise. I sped up this footage, but you can see as we turn it counterclockwise, the tire will slowly drop down, and we're going to drop it all the way down until the tire is laying flat on the ground. At this point, we can pull our extension pole out of the way so that it doesn't fall and hit us when we're underneath here. Now, we really don't want to be under the vehicle as much as we can. Now, we're going to lift the tire up, and we're going to push this piece through the center of the tire. Now you can hold it up. Now, be careful because the exhaust is very hot if you've been driving and everything like that. We can slightly raise this up to get it out of our way. So it doesn't include wheel chocks, but find something to chock the wheels. And the way that they say to chock the wheels is if you're working on the back left tire, you're going to go to the opposite tire, for an example, and you're going to put it in front of that tire. So it's always either in front or in back is how they suggest chocking the wheels. I like to chock them on both sides if possible. And so as an example, if we were going to remove the passenger side front tire, we would come around to the back and we would put the wheel chock on the opposite side here, coming in from the back. So that's how it's recommended from them. Again, if possible, chock both sides of the wheel. We really don't want it rolling at all. So next we're going to look at our wheel hub center here, and careful, the brakes and everything can be very hot from driving and braking. So this one just pulls off. Sometimes there's a cap that you have to pop off, so you can use your tire iron it has a flat spot that you can get in behind and pop that off if you need to. And so we're going to go ahead next and break these lug nuts loose. So we're taking our tire iron, and we're not taking these off all the way. We're just rotating them counterclockwise. About one rotation is what the manual said. So we're just breaking them loose because we don't want to be applying this heavy force on it when it's up in the air. So while it's on the ground, we're breaking these loose. Is a flat area that we'll use instead. So we're putting our bottle jack here. We've just turned it until it's about touching, making sure it's centered and nice and flat on that part of the axle. And so make sure it is going on the axle and that it's properly centered. I really like this flat part of the axle on the bottom. The lift point that they recommend if we were doing a front wheel would be on the frame itself. So here's the big metal frame that's coming through. You would find a nice flat spot right about there, and that's where we would lift on the jack for the front. And so now we're going to take our extension pole here and we're going to make it longer. So we're going to take off the tire iron part on the end, and then we're just going to grab the extra pole that we were not using and attach it. And this is going to make it so we don't have to be under the vehicle at all for this process. We want to stay out from under the vehicle. So once that's here, we can go ahead and loop this in. And here's a pro tip: adjust the jack so that where we're looping it in is vertical. As you can see, it'd be so much easier to just snag this from the side. And so do that. And now what we're going to do is at this angle, we're able to start rotating this. And again, we want to make sure that that jack is centering on the axle evenly. And so as we do, we're just turning it clockwise until we're raising it up. Now, if the tire is completely flat, you might have to raise it quite a bit. In this case, the tires are already inflated, so we didn't have to go up too much higher. But we just want to make sure that we're coming off the ground just about an inch, not a lot. And that's going to make it easier for taking the tire on and off. And we don't want it up too high to where other wheels come off the ground, because right now the vehicle is being held by the parking brake and everything from the other wheels, and that's helping keep it stable. So we'll take the lug nuts off, roll the old wheel out, roll the new one in, and again, do not get under this at any time, and just be careful and be aware that it could come down at any time. So we want to very carefully line up these wheel lug studs and just slide it right back on. So if we didn't lift the vehicle up very high, it shouldn't be too hard to line this up and basically just slide it straight on. So we'll run our lug nuts on, and you'll notice that the wheel, you have to kind of move it back and forth until it seats on that center hub. So make sure that it's seating properly. I like to even put my foot up on the sidewall of the tire to kind of hold it in place. And as you thread these, they do have kind of a little acorn shape that goes down into the wheel. So just make sure that they're threading into it, and you're moving it around and making sure they're all fitting nice and snug. So get them hand tight the best that you can. And now when the wheel's in this position, if the vehicle were to come down, it shouldn't be as catastrophic. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tighten these down, but we're not torquing them all the way. We're just getting them snug while the vehicle is still in the air. And once the weight of the vehicle is all the way on it with the jack off, then we can really tighten these down a little bit more. And so the torque rating for these with the steel wheel was higher, about 147 to 150 foot-pounds, where the factory wheels are only 97 foot-pounds with the aluminum wheel, so it depends on the wheel. So get these snug, but we're going to tighten them down a lot more once the weight of the vehicle is fully on it. So once the new wheel is on, we can come back in with our jack and slightly lower it down. And I'll lower it down just until the wheel's touching. That'll keep it from moving. And if the vehicle's in park, you might get away with tightening it down with the wheel a little bit higher in the air and the wheel not moving around. But if it's the front wheel, for example, it might only just spin. So we're going to just lower it down just for the wheel to touch. Then we're going to go back and snug these lug nuts down more. Now with the vehicle all the way on the ground, we can lower this jack and slide it out just by pulling on it. Now, if it's our nice wheel, we're going to have it pointed face up so that it won't get scratched as we drop that little loop back through it and lift it up. If it's the spare tire, it's going to be upside down, and so it will be different depending on which wheel you're putting back on. So what we're going to do is have the nice side of the wheel facing up so it doesn't get scratched, and we're going to drop that piece back down in here. Now, as we're lining this up, you want one of these little posts here to go into a wheel lug area where the lug nut would go, and then you can see it has two other side aligners on each side. So the same thing would happen when we're putting the spare tire back in eventually. You want one of these to line up into the wheel lug nut hole, as you can see, and then it has the 2 posts that go into the center where the hub of the wheel would go. So this is what it should look like as we're tightening this and lifting it back on so it's secure. Okay, so we have our alignment tab going through the lug nut hole. We have both of our guides here. So everything looks good. We're going to go ahead and start lifting this back up. And so it will start to lift the wheel. And sometimes the wheel will go side to side a little bit. So just make sure it hasn't come out of that hole. And we're just going clockwise now and just turning this just the same way that we lowered it, but in reverse. So as we start to raise it up, just remember it can float around a little bit, and that exhaust can be very hot if you've been driving. So be very careful about that and make sure that the wheel isn't up against the exhaust either, getting burned. And so as it's going up, just stop every few minutes here, just kind of move it around and make sure it's floating and not getting caught on anything. And so you'll see the guides that the tire's supposed to go up into. So from under here you can see it has these guides on each side of the tire. So as we're slowly lifting it, we just want to make sure it's going up into those. And this is what it should look like when it's pretty much all the way up. You should see a guide on each side of the tire, and it should be getting up there nice and firm. So don't crank it too tight to break anything. Just get it up there so it's snug again. Once that's good, we'll just pull our pole right back out through here. And once that's out of the way, then we're going to go back to our wheel. Now, as soon as you can, get to a tire shop, have them properly torque your lug nuts, and drive very slowly and cautiously until you get there. But we're going to make sure that everything is properly torqued down, because you won't be able to do that by feel without a torque wrench. We're going to go ahead and pop our cap back on here and just put our tools back away. So the tool bag goes in the back, the little rubber latch goes back over it. And if any of these rubber band things come off, basically just get them to latch in that little catch right there and set it out of the way, and then we'll loop them back over the top. Now with the bottle jack, we're going to bring it in here, and just remember we use the bottle jack by opening it so that it keeps it snug, but if it can lift a vehicle, it can bend the sprocket. So just make sure that you're very careful turning this. If you're doing it by hand, you shouldn't have a problem, but we're going to go ahead and turn this clockwise to open the jack back up until it fits nice and snug and it's not going to go anywhere, because in an accident that could really come out, and that's a heavy piece. So make sure that it's nice and snug, and we're going to put our little bungee back over to help secure it. Then just put our carpet back down on top of it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please be safe. Chock the wheels the most that you can. Check the video description. I have a place where you can pick up some wheel chocks. Also, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I have a playlist on more videos that are like this. And as always, thanks for watching.